Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, we have made arrangements for everybody to light a candle tomorrow morning. Okay, so tomorrow morning after breakfast, you can take your turn. Each one candle. You light and make your aspiration. The candle can last for 4 hours. So before we take the Bodhisattva vow, after breakfast, you take your turns to light up first. Is it okay? So everybody has a chance, to make sure you. That's all. Matthew, thank you.
We all 8:30 start. 8:30 they come and light. Okay. After breakfast, you all can come and light first. So after breakfast, normally you finish before 8. Okay, can. The lighter is somewhere. Okay. Okay, now we'll continue from where we stop. Manyan, you read on, 5.3.1, 219. Right? Manyan 不在啊? Oh, then has to get Wi-Fi. Page 219, below the code. What is silent?
5.3.1, what is silent? Can you all understand this daily code? What is silent? Not just don't talk. Silent here means no chattering. Completely no mental chattering and verbalization. No mental chattering or verbalization means no thought. That's what awareness is. But sometimes when you are silent, it doesn't mean you are aware, because you can be doing a disciplined attention. You silence your mind like no thought, but you have a thought inside there that discipline you via saying, I must be mindful. Then you are no longer mindful or aware. That's why don't try to be mindful, because the trying is by the thought, but instead just maintain silence. 5.3.2, what is awareness? The moment you are silent, you are already aware. So why do you want to be aware or try to be aware? During one of the recorded Satipatthana Sutta workshop, I heard this funny question that they asked. Who is aware and aware of what? If you inquire this way, then you will get caught, because you thought awareness is a knowing. That's why you ask who is aware and aware of what. Very logical, isn't it? But because most people, Sakaya Ditti or self-delusion is so strong, so how can they be aware? The thought always wants to be aware via verbalization. That's why it is a focused attention. Focused attention means the thought wants to be aware. The thought is still active behind the awareness, so how can it be aware? Understand or not? The thought is trying to be silent, to be aware of what it wants to be aware. So the moment you want to be aware of that thing, you are no longer aware. 5.3.3, choiceless, not making any choices or decisions. Awareness is just silent, then choiceless means you don't try to make a choice. There is no decision of what you are aware of. Like the Buddha saying, in the seeing there is only the seeing consciousness, and there is no one to see as yet. It is just a consciousness, just like the physics experiment. Upon contact, the light bulb lights up, which means the consciousness just arises naturally. Can't you just be aware of the consciousness, the pure consciousness, before you input the content of consciousness? The trouble with you is you are so fast, and via memory, you already label it as a flower, book, etc. because of your conditioned thinking. That's why you cannot see. In order to see, you must have the ability to be silent, and you must have sati and samadhi. Otherwise, these aggregates of mind, they will arise very fast. The mind stir and they come up very fast, and you cannot do anything about it.
This one is very true. Because I remember in the early day, before I stabilized my sati, actually I was still doing the usual thing. Suddenly one day, when my sati stabilized, then I look at things, it all become different now. How come like that one? No word, nothing one. Like this microphone, where we are so conditioned, the word become more important than the thing. Like Krishnamurti say, the word is not the thing. The word microphone is not this fellow. You understand? So what does it mean? If we are so conditioned, see the word come out. Then what are you doing? You are lost in thought. You never observe. Understand? But when I observe, the word disappear. I saw everything without word. All the detail inside here. Of course, I want to interpret, I can. But the pure observation. Then I look at the art. No word. I say, how come like that? Then I realize that is the pure observation, the direct seeing. But to reach that state, you have to stabilize your sati, awareness. If you don't do it, you cannot. Like just now, Beng Lim tried to understand. He come and ask. He said, he used his own word. He said, when we are here, there is nobody to be here. Or when we are here, there is also nobody to be here. But these are all dependent originating phenomena. Understand? You know it's dependent originating phenomena. Condition arising one. Nobody inside there. Understand? All the things you become conscious, like the Buddha said, in the seeing consciousness, there is only that consciousness. Then you input the content, then the ego come in. Then the sakkayaditthi come in. Then the I, the me, the words, the concept, the ideology, and the whole content go in. So I say, don't try to understand this. Without thought, this one surface. So go and do. Do until this one surface. Stabilize. And then you will understand. Otherwise, you ask, I explain. Then what happened? You use the thought to try to understand something that is beyond thought. Understand? You sure get it wrong one. So that last sentence is very important. I read again. This one is very useful. The page before. Awareness is just silent. Then choiceless means you don't try to make a choice. There is no decision of what you are aware of. Like the Buddha said, in the seeing, it's only the seeing consciousness. There is no one to see. It is just the consciousness, the light bulb light up. Just like the physical experiment, upon contact, the light bulb lights up. Which means the consciousness just naturally arises, following nature's law. It's not created. It's dependent originating. Can't you just be aware of the consciousness? Means without the word, without the label, before the content go in. I realize I can stay there, and no movement. That's why your sati must be very stable. Then the pure consciousness, before you input the content of consciousness, that one you can see very clear. Then the trouble with you is, this is where you all go wrong. You are so fast, via what? Via memory, you already label it as flower, book, this one, just one, microphone, etc. Because of what? Your conditioned thinking. You think until so complicated, you give preference to the word instead of that thing, understand or not? So why Krishnamurti is trying to tell you, the word is not the thing. So when you observe nature, when you observe even a tree or art, you observe with a pure awareness, no word one, understand or not? The pristine beauty and wonder of everything. And everything is new, pristine, understand or not? You all through memory on. He said, as like the dead leaf, no different from the dead leaf. Because what you see, what you observe, is through your thought, memory. See.
The way I saw my own labeling was like, for example, when you hold the microphone, so Brother Teo holding microphone, in my PWC, a phenomenal world of consciousness, right? Brother Teo never aged. That microphone has been the same from the time we bought it until now. I am not seeing exactly it. But to be honest, the microphone has aged. The consciousness and conditions that support it is different from the yesterday, from the previous moment. Number of cells in Brother Teo's body, the bacteria content, everything, every minute, every moment is different.
Yeah.
But in my brain, the label Brother Teo, I'm no longer looking at him. I have that memory that Brother Teo copy paste from yesterday in the microphone copy paste. So I really am very limited and obscured. This is a very simplistic way I saw my PWC.
Very good. You remember nowadays in China, our society, now they come out with a joke. They ask a question. When two person, a girl and a man, a lady and a man, sleep together and nothing happen, who are they? Husband and wife. Why? Take for granted, I know. You were already married for so long. Then they also make the joke. Even when you like want to take bath, change everything. His tongli moto. What is that to see? Well, we take for granted. Everything is we take for granted. So your relationship cannot flourish on that. You know why? Because you take for granted. My wife, she like that one lah. A lot of comment no. But don't know how to use the right thought to appreciate. Darling, thank you. You cook, not easy, You wash, the whole family, a lot of chores. You have to go. Actually, my mother, my mother that time also do a lot of hard work. Morning, find something, wake up, at night, eat something, 9 o'clock only. Non-stop working. Then like my wife got to water the plant, water the garden. Then do a lot. You think she don't do things? She always tell me, you can sleep. He say, I got a lot of work to do. But I do my duty for other things. So whatever she is good, I let her do. That's why I say everything to do with the household, the kitchen or whatever, you decide. Understand? So this one is Home Affairs Minister. Understand? Then no quarrel. Understand? Then, sadhu. When you are appreciative, they feel a lot of joy and happiness. The sacrifice is worth it. Understand? Then I tell you, the food they cook also nicer. Understand or not? The household also cleaner one. You think all the washing very easy. Then when I asked my wife, wow, you alone, how you wash and clean the house? He said, washing machine wash lah, I don't wash. You agree or not? The ladies will agree. Because actually washing machine do the hard work. I saw my mother last time buy that soap, the old-fashioned soap, rectangle one. Then on the board, very got groove. Wow, hard. That is hard work, If one person okay, my mother got to wash my father's clothes, my grandmother, 9 children, And we don't have the money to buy, last time. My mother want to save money. He go and buy the $1, 1 meter, the long cloth, and sew himself, herself. Then I wear to school, the sleeve one long, one short. Then very easily torn. When I was in the school, a lot of my classmates mocked me. And I said, laugh at me. But I don't feel anything. I say, you laugh lah. At least my mother make for me, You also want to buy supermarket one. Then I developed the understanding. That's why I went through life. I developed all this. When you are appreciative of life, then you have virtue, understand? You have good thought. You care for people. You are sensitive. Otherwise, take a lot for granted. Take a lot for granted means what? End up, relationship, sure argue and conflict. We are both also posong. Yeah.
Very true. The unrushed attention in observing, right, can really change the way I engage with the person. Instead of the copy paste, I can feel or sense if something was wrong in your day, if your voice somehow feel different, or the wrinkles on your face. I'm more
That
attentive.
is being sensitive. When you are sensitive, you can pick up all this. Very good. That's why last time I remember Yun Chan. Yun Chan still around. There was a joke. He actually put a flower on her forehead. Then he asked Raymond, hey, how I look today? Raymond said, same lah. Then he came and tell me the joke. I said, that's the result of full chai for too long. Like, he doesn't look at you. Oh, dye hair. He doesn't know. Yeah. Yeah, Beng Fi, you want to say something? No. That's why all these are very interesting. A lot of things in life, you are not sensitive. You don't see, you don't feel for your loved one. Understand or not? You're supposed to be sensitive and resolve all this amicably. Understand or not? Not only to your problem. Actually, your misunderstanding with your spouse and your loved one and your children is actually a problem, relationship problem. But you know how to resolve it. Only the right understanding to arise the right thought that give rise to the right speech means nice, gentle, pleasant speeches that make people feel good. Because when you say that sincerely, of course lah, otherwise I tell you get into trouble. You blow your cover. He say, wow, want something from me, then say nice thing. So a lot of wives, they all discuss among themselves. You be careful, when your husband suddenly out of nowhere buy you something, you better be careful. Something behind. Like that, not so good. But you sincere, you appreciate, you compliment them. I tell you, they feel very good. And that is what life is. Why you want to make life difficult for your own loved one, spouse? And every time, like, very selfish. Just don't care, react. Then, bosong means get angry, shout out. Why food not ready yet? Why every day same food? Not warm up. I work in office, you think easy? I got a lot of problem, I got a lot of then end up what? Argue. And you know what the wife will tell you? Lay kampan, lay cook yourself. Jing, very good. Got experience already. You say so much, cook yourself. And I got one colleague, engineer in JKR, when I came out to work. Wow, he tell me this story like this. He got 2 children. At first, he got 2 children. He was very happy. Then he came and shared with me. He know I just got married. Very new. I just joined JKR. Hey, Tio, you just got married. Your wife sure every day expect you to go home. Like black gold like that. Because after married, you cannot blame them. You are the closest, though. They every time think of you, and you go office half a day, and she teach her half a day, she come home. So he said, the secret to solve that problem is have a kid. Got the kid, they got no time for you. The kid. She sacrificed everything. Then he not careful, He thought got kid good, get a second kid. Wow, the second kid, the wife be tahan. The wife asked her to take over and share the duty. Wow, then he got angry, Hey, I engineer, I got to go to office, I got to work on, You like that harass me. He said, why you go and make the second one? So because of that, I experienced it when I have my second one. My wife suddenly called me, I cannot take it already. He said, you know why or not? The young one, you have to take care. Every 1 hour feed initially. Then later on, the second one, Sui, that time don't know. He said, how come suddenly you got one fellow there? Then last time he always sleep with my mother, my wife. Then suddenly this fellow come take over. Then middle of the night, he go and move the small fellow away and go near the mother there. Until my wife got a shock. Then at night, I got to feed this one. Then this one feed already, stop crying. Then the other cry. The other guy got to feed the other one. Then both of them cry. So I have to come out. So during that time, he got angry. So he argued with the wife. So he said, I come office, not enough sleep. He said, banyak teruk. Then I said, how? He said, I don't know. So he go back and I think he didn't have the right speech and all. He quarreled with the wife. You know what the wife did? Throw the 2 baby there, go back in-law house. And the next day he called out. He said, Tio, can you please tell the office I cannot come to the office. I said, why? He said, my wife ran back, left the 2 small fellows in the house. You don't end up like that. You think it's a joke. This is a reality. Then after that, he tell me, he got to go and ask her own mother to come down and help. Then got to ask the mother and the father, pujo, the in-law, and ask the wife to come back. That's why, and it's very good because he shared this with me. That's why I find it very amusing. And I also learn. That's why I understand my wife. When he call me, I wake up, I do, no choice. But she's very good. Most of the things she can do, she will do. And she never actually bother me. Because she know I do my part, she do her part. You should divide your duty. Then anything need to share opinion, discuss, their life, let them decide. Their money, let them decide. Their career, let them decide. Then no misunderstanding, no argument. Otherwise, you want to interfere everything. Means you want to dominate them. And that will give you a lot of problem. Can you understand that? No sound. Can understand means good. This will help you. This is life. Understand? But most of us married already. Children also so old already. So this type of problem no more. But pass on to your next generation. These are very good advice. Understand? Don't take things for granted. That's why be appreciative of life. Appreciation is a virtue. Understand? If you appreciate life, life becomes beautiful. If you are kind to people, good to people, if you are tactful, people will be kind to you, dear to you. They also speak tactfully to you. And this is the law of karma. You reap what you sow. So don't always, through your own habitual tendency, your own deluded thinking, conditioned thinking, just react. You know what is this reaction or not? When you just react like that, means you are like, Krishnamurti call it what? It's like reflex action or no? Mechanical. The word is mechanical. You become very mechanical, like robot, no? All the instruction put in, pop, you act. Then you are programmed to do things. No? Means you cannot do things on your own. No? You don't have that kindness, that appreciative value, that what they call love, compassion, and all. You don't have. And you say you are a cultivator, no. You say you cultivate Noble Eightfold Path, no. You only cultivate the theory, Dhamma theory. But the real one is life itself. When you can actually make it a living reality, that is the living Dhamma. And it will flourish. Then all relationship, every aspect of life become beautiful, wonderful. That's how the Dhamma function. Can understand? Can understand or not? If this one you don't want to learn, I tell you, your life will be miserable. Okay? So this message, I think, worth a lot. Your retreat 400 chicken feet, I tell you. One of these advice only, Beng Fi. Sorry. Beng Lim. Both also Beng. Sometimes confused.
Very interesting, Brother Teo. Maybe I share a bit about my family. Actually, 10 years old, I already started helping my mom to cook. So even cleaning house and all that. And I enjoy it, and I love cooking. I learned, so in my family, I do all the cooking. Even Sunday, every Sunday I do marketing.
Oh, very good. I got one Kayamita. He go marketing on. The wife cook, but he market.
Even cooking.
Oh.
Even when I was working, if I go back even 7:30, I will do the cooking dinner.
Oh, like that your wife is very blessed. sorry. No wonder the wife, he don't only Mandarin, but my understanding very deep, so much deeper.
I'm very, very blessed.
So much deeper than Beng Lim. She used to bring her over, sometimes to collect book, then we talk. Then the way she speak, she pretend like very humble, a lot of humility. But when you speak, then when I saw that the sign, I also share. She can understand, very profound. Mandarin speaking. He said he don't read English. The first time he came, I remember I gave him some Mandarin book, and he find it very interesting. Then he, on her own, she go and join the Maya. She really learned, she understands. Your wife is very good, I tell you that.
That's why she read, and because she knows Mandarin. I think the Chinese translation, sometimes is more profound.
Yeah. So, you know Mandarin. Because the way Mandarin is, the founder who found it, is a language that is very useful for spiritual teaching. Because they like two word, they combine these two, one word here, one word there, it become very beautiful words, very meaningful. Like 慈济, 慈悲救济, understand or not? That's why 慈济, it comes from the word 慈, but 慈悲, 救济. So when you coin the two words together, it becomes very beautiful, meaningful. It expresses out the thing. That's why Mandarin, although I banana, I never go to Chinese school, but very naturally, I will have the interest and I learn. Of course, I cannot really read, but I can communicate, I can listen, I can understand. What is amazing is my wife, Chinese school teacher, Mandarin educator. When Master Xianhua come, deliver his Dhamma in Mandarin, I can understand. She's Chinese school teacher, sometimes she cannot follow. Because the pronunciation by Master Xianhua is the more olden era. But I listen, just go in. How you explain that? It's because of the past. It has this DNA and all those things already there. You continue, yeah.
Even till now, I'm doing that.
Very good.
Every morning 6, I will prepare breakfast and
Very good.
pack lunch for two
You will
grandchildren. Now
have
no
good-
more children.
You will
Children
have
already
good
big,
parami.
grandchildren.
You know why not? You do your duty.
I enjoy it. I love doing that.
You remember when we chant under salutation to the Sangha? What are the characteristics of the Sangha? Supatipanno, Bhagavato, Savaka Sangho. What is the meaning? Of good conduct is the Aryan disciple of the Buddha. Then of upright conduct is the Aryan disciple of the Buddha. Then of wise conduct is the Aryan disciple of the Buddha. The last one is Samichi Patipanno, or dutiful conduct. You do your duty. That one, the merit is very high. Understand or not? When you do that, you accumulate a lot of merits. And to be an Arya, you must understand that you have a duty towards the law of karma, understand or not? That's why you cannot simply do things. Although you say, not so real lah, Brother Theo say, hey no you, hey no me, you suka do lah. Cannot like that, understand? Yes? The form and mind is subject to law of karma. If you entangle that, then you come in future, you become the victim. He don't care whether you are Bodhisattva or what. You just nature's law. I give you an example, like live wire. Live wire. You know what is live wire? If you don't insulate yourself, you go and touch, what happens? Electrocute you. You think the live wire will choose and pick? If you virtuous cultivator, I won't electric you. I won't what is the word? Electrocute you. Huh? Electrocute you. You think he will do that? No, these are nature's law. You touch, not insulated, finish. Understand not? This is impersonal. Nature's law. Understand not? So law of karma is the same, moral causation. Irrespective of who you are. If you violate, that's why I say, don't play a fool with karma. Karma very severe. It will manifest until it show it to you. If you cannot understand, you will continue to be haunted by it. You know how to reverse the karma or not? Huh? You want to know or not? Only one person want to know. To reverse the karma, you need wisdom, you need understanding. When you are aware, mindful, you can sense it coming. Then you quickly do what you have to do, ask for forgiveness and all those things. Then make aspiration, invoke power, merit for cause and condition, for it to be mitigated and reversed. Understand? Then after that, if you can, if it's karmic debt, like what I told you all last night, I bought a new car. Within 1 month or 2 months, no, I cannot remember whether 1 month. New car, no, 3 tires punctured, no. Within that 1-2 months, no. Then I saw the sign already. This means these are the money that I have to spend. It's like payback, karmic debt. Then straight away, you know what I did, huh? I straight away make donation or offering. I say it's better to make donation offering rather than take it in my car. Luckily, it's only my car, no, nothing major. No. If accident, car damage, I got to pay more. No. Well, my coming debt not so high, just repair tire a few. But it showed to you within that time, 3, you know. Oh, it's like whole chair one. Then when I saw all this, that's it. It will show it to you. Because during that time, anything I do, even like a thought, it manifests. Very powerful. So cultivation of the spiritual law, the Dhamma, like that, is impersonal. Cause and effect, cause and effect. And the whole of the movement of the whole entire existence is very messy. You are not alone. But yet, this law is so much better than a computer. No need to have storage, anything, but it can remember. It never make mistake. You see how powerful that nature's law. It's a universal nature's law, universal order. And the moral causation is so powerful because it involves the mental, the mind. That's why I call it moral causation, mental intention. Okay? Who? Beng Lim, yes.
Sister's like to share is that what I learned from this is that 有心就可以做到㗎啦。有心。
What is it? I didn't catch it.
有
心 means what? No, I know. I understand what is 有心. Then after that?
有心我哋就可以做到嗰樣嘢。So just like
可以做到 what?
Can complete that, can do.
Oh, yeah. There's a real. That one is okay.
Then,
that one is okay.
Not calculative lah, not
yeah.
whether wife, husband or what. Just.
Yeah. You're willing to do your duty where you sacrifice, because normally household is wife do it. But I've seen a lot of men actually take over the role because they like to cook. I got one colleague when I was in that listed company. He is one of the founder actually. And he used to tell me, he very close to me. What you understand? He cook for the family. Then sometimes he go and do the marketing over there. He is actually, although he is not a qualified engineer, but he's in the construction industry, And he actually quite high position already. And yet he do it because he said he like to do it. He said he has the passion. Then when he cook, he feel very good. The children that eat his food feel very safe. Understand? He really go and buy the good food and all those things. And he cook it so that it's better than eating outside. But outside, you don't know what they put inside there also. So especially those who sell zapfan, all those things. Not every zapfan seller, they are that, I should say, tactful, or I should say, ethical. Understand? We are what they weigh again is the cost. Understand? So sometimes, as long as they think, still can this veggie and all that. So they wash, then they just cook. Then a lot of people who the health not so good, you eat already diarrhea very often. That's why in the early day, I remember I got a few colleagues. When I say go to Waisakai or Zapana, they don't want no. Hey, cannot. I sure diarrhea one. Then I realize they are so like maybe too hygienic. You know why too hygienic? Everything also very clean. No. The children also no. He makes sure cannot simply so too hygienic. You go India, you sure get into trouble. The tap water. You go Indonesia, you get into trouble. We all since young train already survival. Everything also eat one. Tap water also drink one. That's why I don't have problem. But nowadays, of course, as we evolve, we become more civilized. Please, don't do that. Then you can maybe have the means. Give your children a better life. Then understand that, especially your family, your household, your house is actually a place where you stay the most, understand? Where you are at home most of the time. And for the happiness and joy of your family or what, you can afford, renovate it nicely so that you all can have the comfort of life and all those things. No need to be very luxurious or what, but basic thing. Like what I did after I retire, where I already financial freedom. I told my 2 children and my wife, I said, I renovate the house all one go. Then your room, you decide. What type of design, what type of furniture, you decide. Then my wife kitchen, you take control. Everything you want. Then she very good. She like supervise the work. The contractor make mistake. She know. She come back report to me. You don't go and quarrel with the contractor. That's how we resolve it. And we have a very nice house. My daughter also like. My son also like. That's why if you can have the means and effort, do it. Because every day, even I used to share with Karimita when I at home for the last, I think it has been almost 17 years since I renovated the house. I look at the building, the pristine beauty and wonder and the joy. I say, at least I did this. And the family feel very good. Then Kayamita come for Tuesday class. Then every time they visit me, we have a proper place, a nice place. Understand? So this is what you should have as understanding. Then when you do that, there is joy within the family. Understand? Then they feel good. Okay? Okay, enough, we continue.
So that's why when you read J. Krishnamurti's quote, Sati is awareness, and what is awareness? J. Krishnamurti said, awareness is the silent and choiceless observation of what is. What is the reality before the labeling, the actual thing. So don't try to go and develop a duality to react what do you see or observe. That's why it is just a choiceless observation of the reality, of what is. And what is means the isness of things or the reality. Isness is suchness. That's why the Buddha is called the Tathagata, who is an expert in Tathata, and Tathata is suchness. So the choiceless observation of what is observing the isness of the things, or is just the silent awareness of the reality within the moment. 5.3.4 Listening attentively without thought. Sister Monica asks, in one of my meditation on Thursday, correct me if I'm wrong, whether that is sati or not. I could hear the talk that you were giving, and I know that we were brothers and sisters around me. And I know that there were brothers and sisters around me, but there was this joy in me. I wasn't thinking, and I know that it was after the whole thing that I started to recollect back. I was so joyful. I know that there was Brother Theo talking, and there were people around, but just that, then nothing else. Brother Theo answered, okay, sadhu, because when you listen attentively, there is no interference from your thought, from your opinions, your views, your conditioning, etc. You don't comment inside. You just listen attentively without any reaction. That's what choiceless awareness is all about. But the moment you perceive or the mind cognize, that's already the mind coming out of sati. But in her case, she is very good because she did not allow it to continue to think, which means there is awareness. Then there is a perception of Brother Theo talking. All the vibrations, etc. just goes in. Then if she wants to understand, she can understand. But she did not arise any thought to interfere, which means there is no view, opinion, or conditioning coming out of it. Just an open mind that listens, no right, no wrong. That's how I investigate with the silent mind to find out whether it is true or not. When I can listen attentively without thought, which means I have very good sati or awareness, then this sati can do Dhamma investigation.
See, this is the answer to the cultivation. This is how you develop sati or awareness and use it. Like this lady, she meditated. Then she developed this ability to be sati. Then she realized she can listen to my vibration now, but because of the conditioned memory, the perception, where she knows my voice and she has the faith and listening, is no Brother Theo talking. Then her sensitivity, the awareness can also feel the Kayamita, boys and girls, they are listening. But inside, joy. Why is there joy? Because no negativity or thought interfering from the brain, the memory. And that's how you live life, with awareness. Understand? When you are aware, this is how you live life. That's why listen from the heart. Then just aware, finish. The rest of the thing is not important. But when you have this capacity to be aware, it becomes sensitive. You want to know, you can know. You don't want to know, no need to know. And the mind becomes very quiet. But this is awareness. It's not a thought. Understand not? Can follow? Read this carefully again and again. Then you know how to develop it and cultivate. then less question. Understand? Less question means I don't have to spend time explaining again and again and again. But doesn't mean you cannot ask. You can ask. Okay? Continue.
5.3.5 Sakaya Ditti, self-delusion and the three evil roots. I will go on with the JK's quote, then you will understand better. The quote said, awareness is the silent and choiceless observation of what is. Then it goes on to say, problem will always exist where the activities of the self are dominant. Can you understand this statement? What are the activities of the self? What is self? Self is the ego, the personality, the I and the me, and this egoic mind is your thought or the five mental aggregates. When there is Sakaya Ditti or self-delusion, then this thought becomes egoic, which means that thought will have selfishness, emotion, doubt and fear, etc. And they are part of the three evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion. So it is exactly like what the Buddha taught. Problem will always exist where the activities of the self conditioned by self-delusion are dominant, or when the three evil roots are there. Because when there is this self-delusion to grasp at the form and mind, thinking that it is you, whether it is the human being or the mental five aggregates of Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara and Vijnana, then suffering will arise. Any of these five aggregates of form and mind, if you grasp and cling through self-delusion, thinking that feeling is you, that all these external forms you see, you can own or possess them, then thinking that all of the perceptions that you perceive and labeled are real, also can be owned, can be possessed, including all of the views and opinions that you are holding on to, plus all of the phenomena and things that you become conscious of. You can grasp and cling onto them via giving them meaning, then suffering will follow you. Hence the reason why the Buddha said in his first Noble Truth summary, in short, the five grasping aggregates or upadana khandha are dukkha. So the teaching is exactly the same, because the thought, which is the five mental aggregates, if you grasp on to them as the me and the I via self-delusion, then suffering will arise. Or like what J. Krishnamurti said via his daily quote, so problems will always exist where the activities of the self, which is self-delusion, are dominant. To be aware which are and which are not the activities of the self needs constant vigilance. 5.3.6 Be constantly aware and heedful. Constant vigilance here means constantly aware and heedful. That is, when the evil roots are there, when the self is there, when the selfishness, the emotional negativities, the fear and the manifestation of the mental ego are there.
You have to be aware.
You have to be aware. That's what vigilance means. The Buddha used the words constantly aware, which is the same as vigilance. That's why in certain books, heedfulness is also translated as vigilance. So it is only when you are constantly aware, only then you can do something about it. Otherwise, you cannot, because the mind is so fast. 5.3.7 Vigilance or awareness is not discipline or focused attention. Then what did Krishnamurti say? This vigilance is not a disciplined attention, just like what I have shared with you all earlier on. How do you discipline, and do you know what discipline is? Just like in the military, full discipline, you must do this, you must do that. You must note this and you must note that. You must meditate like that. And all these are disciplined attention or focused attention. Do you understand? But awareness has nothing to do with the thought. Who discipline? The thought wants to discipline. The thought wants to be aware. And the thought wants to maintain attention. And the worst is, the thought wants to meditate. And what happens when the meditator, which is the thought, is so actively meditating? You are no longer aware. Because you are verbalizing via the thought, now you can laugh, but last time you just follow instructions and do without understanding. You are just being gullible. The vigilance is not a disciplined attention, because once the thought is active, then you are no longer in sati already. For sati is awareness or the silence before the thinking or knowing. Since vigilance or sati is an extensive awareness, which is choiceless as opposed to disciplined attention, which is thought-based. Hence, the reason why J. Krishnamurti go on to say that disciplined attention gives strength to the self. This is because when the user of thought is deluded, then thought will be egoic. Egoic means self-centered. So when you try to discipline and when you try to meditate with the thought, or when you try to be aware, it is already a disciplined attention already, because the trying is by the thought. And when thought is there, you will give it mental energy, and this will strengthen the self, the ego, which is the personality. Then what happened? You can no longer see things as they are, because you are preoccupied with the doing via the thoughts, hence you lack clarity. Whereas awareness, on the other hand, is not self-induced, and there is nobody inside there to be aware. It is just an awareness nature, which is the essence of mind, the silent mind which is just aware, a general, spacious or specific phenomenon awareness before the knowing or labeling via thoughts or the aggregates of mind.
So this last paragraph is very important. Now you see the meaning, you start to stand up. Whereas awareness or sati, on the other hand, is not self-induced, no ego behind. And there is nobody inside there to be aware. Why? Why? Because it's a nature. Remember, there is not a being, understand? No. Nobody there. It's just an awareness nature, which is the true mind or essence of mind, the silent mind or the meditative mind, which just aware. Understand that? Based on what? A general spacious awareness without a center, or a specific phenomenal awareness. Before the knowing or labeling, we are thought or the aggregate of mind. Like Brother Wong, I think 2 days earlier or what, he walked up the hill. The awareness can observe all the phenomena. But it's like the mind very light, doesn't cling, doesn't hold. That is how awareness can be experienced. Well, this is the second retreat only. You can ask him and Chan and Wai Fan, both of them came same time, second retreat. So much different now. In fact, the first retreat they progressed already. He managed to do it already. Then this retreat, I think Wai Fan and Chan, they were full of joy. But now they understand it very, very much clearer. No? The first year come, still mong cha cha, understand? But the faith is there, very good. And they really have the faith, then they determine to actually develop the cultivation and where they see the beauty of it. Understand? Then they also know that phase of life, enough searching, search everywhere, cannot find, suddenly find. They go all out, understand? That's why they will progress. That's why when you have the faith, the understanding, you will go all out. Because this is what life is all about. Most important understanding. Other things secondary. Hey, secondary. Become secondary. Secondary. Now you understand, so we move on. Okay.
5.3.8 Meaning of what is. Awareness or sati is the silent and choiceless observation of what is. What is suchness, the isness of things, the reality of the truth, the reality or the truth. Not a concept, not an ideal, not what you perceive to be, but just what is, that reality. Silence means mentally silent, not just you don't talk. Then choiceless awareness means no views, no opinions, and no judgment, etc. You don't go and decide and you don't go and discriminate. You don't go and create dualities out of nothing. So awareness is the silent and choiceless observation of the truth or the reality, which is the same as when you see things as they are. It means the truth, which is also what is, or the isness of things. 5.3.9 Self-delusion and seeing things as they are. Then J. Krishnamurti said, problems will always exist when the activities of the self are dominant. Self, as you know, is your atta, your self-delusion, your misconception that condition you to cling on to these 5 aggregates of form and mind, both aspects. The first aspect of it is as a human being, We all have a physical body or form, first aggregate. Then we all have a mind which we can feel, perceive, think and become conscious, the other 4 mental aggregates. Combining them, we have the first aspect of the 5 aggregates of form and mind as a human being or a living being. The second aspect is the 5 mental aggregates of form and mind that arise with every moment of sense door consciousness. When you attach and cling, there is this ego or personality that you create, and that is what Krishnamurti called the self. The moment you have this egoic mind or the sense of self created, then it is capable of selfishness, emotional negativities and fear through delusion, hence conditioning the 3 evil roots to arise. And that's why J. Krishnamurti also said the same via his quote that problems will always exist when the activities of the self, which is the egoic mind or self-delusion, are dominant. Then he said, in order to be aware which are and which are not the activities of the self, you need constant vigilance. And this vigilance is not a disciplined attention. Disciplined attention means regimented attention, which means through the thought you want to be aware, and through the thought you want to discipline yourself. Like this is how you should meditate, and this is how you should note. This is how you should do things. All these are disciplined or focused attention and not a silent general awareness. So when you understand the vigilance is not a disciplined attention, but an extensive awareness which is choiceless, then you can develop the understanding of what sati or awareness is. Then Krishnamurti goes on to say, the disciplined attention gives strength to the self, because the thought which is egoic is involved. So when you try to discipline and meditate with the thought, or when you try to be aware who is trying, the thought is trying, and the thought is there, you give energy to it, and it will strengthen the self or the ego. Then what happens? You become more deluded and heedless. Whereas awareness, on the other hand, is not self-induced, and there is nobody inside there to be aware. It is just an awareness nature, an essence of mind which is just aware and ever mindful within. It's like inquiring, who is aware of the silence of nature? In the middle of the night, when there is no more vibration, which means no more hearing consciousness, but yet there is still a nature within you that can be aware of that silence, that stillness, the mind that doesn't chatter anymore because there is no more thought, and it is not a conditioned arising consciousness. So who is aware of that silence? It is just the essence of mind that is aware of silence, and that is your true nature, your true mind, but you seldom or hardly touches it. Even when you touch it momentarily, it is so fast and you couldn't recognize it. For most of you, you only thoughts. That is the only instrument you have.
You only know thoughts.
For most of you, you only know thoughts. That is the only instrument you have been using rampantly to live life since birth, and that is why you have a lot of problem and suffering. And because of that, you cannot develop the ability to be aware. It is because when your thoughts are so rampantly proliferating, you hardly got any space between thoughts to experience the silence.
Very good. So the next topic, space between thought, you must listen. Without sati, you don't have space. Understand? Because without sati, you think a lot. One thought after another thought. No space means what? You cannot move, isn't it? You become disciplined attention, isn't it? Or follow all the whatever that condition you and already fix your views, opinion, and how to do things. Because it's like people with the tradition, the taboo. So last time, Penang people, I remember, they got a lot of this type of tradition belief. He said, the month of July, you know, Qingming, cannot go out, no. Not Qingming, Hungry Ghost Day. You call what? Pota. Anyway, it's the Hungry Ghost month. He said, if you go out, got ghost, then you develop the fear, Ayo, my boyfriend actually date me, so how can go out? You become like trapped by the tradition. Then sometimes they say, hey, your luck gone. You go into the house, you cannot step on the mung kwang. Then they say, New Year time, you cannot simply go and report for work. No, you must wait till auspicious day to report for work. Then this year I was at the bank. My relationship manager actually told me, Mr. Teo, I think today you don't come. Tomorrow you come. I said, why? He said, all these people come and deposit money. The feng shui say, lucky day to deposit money. Everybody go, don't want to go through online. Withdraw cash and put in the cash. I tell you, all the teller, the officer, and all those that man the customer service, I tell you, they don't have time to rest. Lunch also cannot go. No, my relationship manager called me. He said, Mr. Teo, 我到而家都未食飯啊！ And that was already 3 o'clock now. Yeah, he said, afternoon you try lah. So I saw 3 o'clock. I called her. He said, 我到而家都未食飯啊！你唔好嚟啊！ You are sweet. So all these things is tradition. When you have tradition, actually, it like prevent you from having the what they call freedom to move, to act. Understand or not? It's like authority on you. Understand or not? It gives rise to fear, worry. If I don't follow how, especially when your mother or your granny tell you, hey, boy, cannot, all the pantang, you know what pantang? You go and believe all those things, you don't take care of karma, habis lah, understand? More important is to take care of karma. That's why I don't believe all these things. When I got married, my mother hired somebody who helped, they call what? Sangklupo. Tai kam chair. So I was walking out with my wife. Then my leg was on the burn corner. Just before I step, I said, stop, cannot. Bad luck, is it? I said, I step on it. I walk through. Nothing happened to me. My life become better. So a lot of things, when they throw the chicken to you, you must catch it, no. Otherwise the luck all gone, no. You will believe all this type of thing. And you don't want to take care of karma. I tell you, a lot of this type of Chinese culture, you better be careful. My son, they call. Me sing. Okay, continue.
5.3.10. The space between thoughts. Can remember the space between thoughts which we discussed at our recently concluded Cameron Highland retreat. When you think continuously until you have no more space between thoughts, hence there is no more clarity of mind to be aware, because you are so preoccupied with the thoughts. And this space between thoughts, which is very important, is not there. Between two thoughts, first and the second thought, there is this space in between. When you have this space, you can then realize that this space is silence, peace, and tranquility, leading to stillness. When you are without thought, this is what you will experience. This space between thoughts can only be realized by the true cultivator of the way. And they are so different because this is heedful living. And most of the time you are constantly aware and ever mindful. So this is the part. If you cannot understand because you never meditate until your mind is so quiet and so still, then you can never understand what sati is. For sati can only be understood when you had realized it. The moment the form and mind realize it, it will know what sati is. No need any words or explanation. So the space between thoughts is very important. Reason why J. Krishnamurti said, awareness on the other hand is not self-induced, nor it is the outcome of a practice. Who practice? The thought practice meditation. That's why it is different, because the real sati is without thought. Do you understand? 5.3.11.
That one we have done already. Training the heedless mundane mind. We have done already. So next page. But before that, I want to explain to you this space between thought. How many of you still don't have any idea of what this thing is? Huh? Space. You know what is a space, isn't it? Let's say you arise one thought. Huh? Then, if you are heedless, there is no space, isn't it? Continuously the thought come out, isn't it? But if you have mindfulness, awareness, you hardly think. So, the next thought may take a while. Understand not? And this is space, understand not? And what is this space? This space is your true mind. This one is pure energy, understand not? That's why this space has power. It can see things as they are. It can allow you to have the clarity to observe, to develop the understanding, to develop the wisdom. If without space, what does it mean? You are so cluttered by thought, you become heedless, understand not? Why? Because you are continuously, heedlessly thinking, reacting to sense experience, like and dislike. Then where got space? Everything also you judge, you comment, you worry, you try to reason, you try to analyze. That's why all these are thought-based activity. And it has the ego there, understand not? The activity of the self is continuously, that's why you don't have space. Don't have space means you cannot rest, understand not? Your life force energy wants to come and help you also, your thought block, understand not? You understand not? That's why you cannot have a good sleep. You cannot recuperate. You cannot heal. That's why you know what the doctor do? They also know. You know what they give you? Knock you off and make you sleep. And what is that? Tranquilizer? Huh? Or sometimes antibiotic? Huh? Really knock you off or not? Then you don't resist that. That's why you take antibiotic, you can recover. But the side effect, I wish you luck. Doesn't mean you cannot take. Sometimes you're so sick, you need that type of thing. Take. Because I also take if I need it. So all these are the understanding. So another example is, let's say, your mind is like the altar table. Let's say this altar table, very big, okay? Very big. Then you put a lot of things inside there. You know what other thing you put there? It's like you put until no more space. Whatever. What you attach to the pantang, the belief, and the superstition, the feng shui, or whatever that people tell you on. Then it restricts your movement in it. You dare not violate, understand not? You can follow or not? Then you cannot move at all, no? So, what is your life? Discipline, attention, understand? Follow all this one cannot, that one cannot. It's not you, understand not? And when you cannot move, cluttered means you cannot see, understand not? When you cannot see, you cannot understand. So thought take over. All the whatever tradition that the human being has created through thought, the duality, the views, the opinion, the ideology, everything actually create problem for you. So what you need is space. When you have space, whatever thing you want, you can move, isn't it? Then you can do what you want. Then you can live life. You can understand life. That's the difference between heedful living and heedless living. Because the heedful is ever mindful. What is ever mindful? A lot of space, understand not? When you are mindful and aware, you hardly think. That's like space. And space is energy, pure energy. Now you understand? When you understand, you somehow don't want to cultivate, don't want to develop it. I wish you luck. You choose to go back to the old way, then be heedless, understand not? Then Dhammapada verse 1 take over. Suffering follow you. Don't take care of karma, no need to do anything, enjoy. I tell you, that is not life. Okay? Can follow? Okay, page 227.
5.3.12, understanding the contents of consciousness. Now, after you have developed the understanding, you can really laugh because heedlessness is like that. The mundane mind is like that, and you cannot differentiate between the two. Your true mind and the thinking mind, which is also the mundane mind or deluded, Sakaya Ditti mind with self-delusion. Then what else did Krishnamurti say? Awareness, on the other hand, is not self-induced, nor it is the outcome of practice, it is an understanding, which is wisdom to understand what thought is and all the related problems that thought had created. Content of consciousness means the hidden as well as the superficial. You know what is the hidden? The hidden is your subconscious and unconscious. That one you cannot see, whereas superficial is the conscious mind. So you have to develop the whole understanding of the whole content of that so-called thought which is related to your so-called problems. When you grasp and cling deludedly to the thought which is your 5 mental aggregates of form and mind, they will become grasping aggregates, and then suffering will arise. So your whole of suffering or problem which is related to the contents, both the hidden and the superficial, you must develop the understanding of it. Then how do you do it? According to JK, the surface must be understood for the hidden to show itself. The hidden cannot be exposed if the surface mind is not quiet. So when the chattering is still going on, how can you meditate? Do you understand? The mundane mind, the mundane thinking mind has to be quiet, only then there is sati and samadhi. Then only you can meditate. Otherwise, the spiritual faculties of sati and samadhi cannot arise. Sati is just a silent inner awareness, and samadhi is the stability of it. This sati and samadhi who haven't developed as yet, and you want to meditate. So who meditates? The thought meditates. The spiritual faculties are still not there, and you want to meditate. That's why you are wasting your time. Thought-based meditation has this problem because the thought is actively noting and labeling, concept after concept. The next word explains it even better. JK explained to you how verbalization dulls the mind. So I will read the quote again. The surface must be understood for the hidden to show itself. The hidden cannot be exposed if the surface mind is not quiet. 5.3.13, silence the mundane mind to develop understanding. So you have to really silence the mundane mind to develop the understanding. The whole process of understanding the thought has nothing to do with the words, verbalization, nor it is a matter of mere experience, because experience is also from the thought. Who experience? The thought experience, pleasant and unpleasant, nice and not nice. Awareness doesn't experience anything. Awareness has got no mental state, and there is no like or dislike. The experience comes from the mundane mind. So the next word is what? Verbalization, and verbalization indicates what? Yes, dullness of mind. And you all, some more go and note, rising, falling, etc. to make your mind even more dull. But if you know how to do chanting, then it is different. The vibration comes out, the awareness is aware of it, which is not the thought noting another thought. When you are aware of the thought, it is a different thing, it is sati. Thought will arise, because upon contact it will trigger off, and there is awareness, which can be with the moment of contact. At the moment of that arising of consciousness, just like what the Buddha said, in the seeing, it is just the seeing consciousness. When sati is aware of the moment of consciousness, that it can understand how the mind conditioned by its content of consciousness move or stir inside. You can be with the moment to be aware of them all. That's why sati can see thought, and sati can see all the aggregates of thought, but thought cannot see awareness. So this one is a very important understanding, because Krishnamurti said, verbalization indicates dullness of mind.
See, verbalization means you cannot be with the awareness. I already told you, man can do only one thing at a time. Whether you are chattering inside or verbalize inside, which means you actually didn't talk more. Understand or not? You know what is verbalization or mental verbalization? So that one, that's why you look at a lot of retreat, they put one hand here at the mouth. They say don't talk, but they never say don't chatter, no. Don't verbalize. No. So I said that symbol is wrong. And I said, no. Just put silent. And I said, no. Completely. Verbally silent, mentally silent. And I said, no. You don't silence your thinking mind, that follow verbalize. And that follow create all the chattering. And I said, no. You know what is chatter is? You yourself would know, lost in thought, daydreaming. Keep on chattering. Like I don't call it music. I don't know what you call it. Verbalize, like you talk to yourself. No? No. It's like that. Are this fellow, why like that? Why my wife like that? Huh? Why this boss like that? Then newspapers see, Aiyo, why the Prime Minister so stupid? Prime Minister is so stupid. Who verbalize? Because the egoic mind actually do all this. And when you do all this, Krishnamurti, who have the awareness, he said, you doubt your mind. Understand? You are not aware means you are not living life. You are not with the moment. To be aware of what is going on in life, you are lost in thought. You verbalize, you chatter, you think a lot. Preoccupied in what you are verbalizing, chattering, and thinking. It's very obvious, isn't it? Can see or not? That's why you must choose to be aware. Strive on with heedfulness. Develop the heedfulness first. Then you will progress. Okay? Okay, go on.
And experience being what? Cumulative means what? Yes, memory, you accumulate what you experience as memory. That's why Mahayana Buddhism said the second noble truth is accumulation or Ji. The four noble truths that recite as Ku Ji Mie Dao. It never said cause of suffering. It said you continue to accumulate suffering. There is accumulation. So accumulation being cumulative makes for repetition. You know why JK said that? When you accumulate as memory, that is your downfall, because you cannot see that it's just a thought that you retrieve via memory. Then it will condition your craving, your positive and negative cravings, because you had the experience before. Let's say you come across nice food or beautiful experience, or good meditative experience, then what happened? Next time when you do your meditation, or when you eat something, you want to compare and you want to measure through what? Memories. Wow, last time that shop very nice, or my last meditation was beautiful. Then you make a wish. How nice if I can repeat that experience. Then your meditation becomes what? Good and bad meditation experience. Then what are you doing? Then where is your heedfulness? Where is the training? Then where is the Noble Eightfold Path? That's how you lost your focus. Do you understand? Because you got distracted by the very peaceful and calm state of the meditative experience. That's why J.K. said, experience being cumulative makes for repetitiveness.
So now you understand the sentence, huh? This sentence is very powerful. What is experience? All memory. If it doesn't go through memory, how can you experience it? Experience it through your sankhara, your mental activity, your consciousness, your aggregates of mind. Otherwise, you ain't got experience. The true mind don't experience anything. It cannot even talk. It's a nature. It's just aware. And when you are just aware, you are so beautiful. But the problem is, aware, one dosage, you know what is that? You cannot come out and live life, understand? Means, what for? But that is what nature is. That nature can give you wisdom and allow you to use the form and mind to live life, even though not real, not you. But there is such thing as existence, life. That is how the unconditioned Dhamma understanding and the conditioned Dhamma understanding brings about the combined wisdom to understand life and to live life. So when you understand all this, then you realize the wise one, like Krishnamurti, they see the same thing, but they use different words. So he go to the extent and say, whatever you experience, you accumulate as memory, right? True or not? Then accumulate means being cumulative makes for, you want it repeated, isn't it? Repetitiveness. So powerful, understand? Why people cannot understand him. Okay, continue.
Meaning you want it to be repeated. That's how you develop habits. That's how you get into delusion. That's how you become afflicted. When things don't go your way and when you cannot get what you want, suffering is the result, and that's one of the first noble truth realities that can condition one's suffering. And you still happily are playing with it, thinking that you are very great. Wow, I want to meditate until I get back that state. So now you start to understand why all these are actually foolishness and delusion, isn't it? 5.3.14. Awareness is not determination. The next line is what? Awareness is not a matter of determination. You cannot determine to be aware because who determine? The thought determine. For purposive direction is resistance. And because thought direct, meaning you want things your way, that's why you resist. That's why I say you have to accord and flow if you want to be free. Meditation is not about resisting anything. You just relax and silent. Accord and flow and be with the moment. Then you will understand. Then JK continue, which tends towards exclusiveness, means what? The egoic mind wants that me and I can do this, implies very exclusive. I already improved, my meditation is already not bad, and all these are the thought. So that's why when you determine, then there is a direction, there is a goal where you want to walk towards. That's why the moment you want to be an arahant, you are dead already, because becoming kills you spiritually. Who wants to become? The thought wants to become. And becoming is craving. The moment you have craving, you cannot realize the enlightenment. 5.3.15, the awakening. So don't try to become anything. Just silent and sincerely, patiently cultivate, then you will awaken. The moment the mundane mind awakens and realizes itself, then sees, that's wisdom. And when wisdom arises, there's no more delusion. That's why you could see things as they are. You awaken to the three universal characteristics of nature. There is no more delusion and thought will have no power over you. Then you see things as they are, which is beyond thought, beyond time. Otherwise, you will continually use thought, which is psychological time. Then you will be trapped in time and trapped within the field of thought. 5.3.16, the mystery of life unfolds. Then next one is what? After, awareness is the silent and choiceless observation of what is. It said, in this awareness, the problem unrolls itself. I prefer to use the word unfold itself. This can happen because when you're silent and aware, the phenomenon will tell you the story. Your silent mind will understand. The awareness without thought will awaken to it and understand what it is. This is how you will understand without word, how contact triggers off consciousness. Not only consciousness within the content then you input into. There is also feeling which will simultaneously also arise. You will come to know them all, not through the textbook, not through the one-dimensional dependent origination that says, upon contact, feeling arises. Then you go look for the feeling. This is so gullible, isn't it? Just like the physics experiment. Upon contact, consciousness comes to be. The mind becomes conscious first, and then within, there is also the content of consciousness where perception and feeling also arise. Then feeling will be stirred and be conditioned into craving because sakayaditi or self-delusion due to your lack of wisdom or wise attention, your niso manasikara, at the moment of contact. You got instead ayoniso manasikara. Ayoniso manasikara or unwise attention. So this is how living beings get into trouble. So when you understand all this, the whole mystery of life like slowly unfolds itself. then you will start to understand how you function as a human being, following the dependent origination or the 12 links. That's why when you develop the silent mind, don't try to know anything, and when you meditate, don't try to know or try to say, is this sati or is this anicca? Is this what the Buddha meant as anatta? But after the meditation, you can reflect and contemplate. But when you are meditating or doing it, never ever do that. If you do that, what does it mean? The thought is trying to come in from the back door to tell you all these things, then how can you be in sati anymore? Who say it is anicca? Your thought right. That is why Dhamma-based and thought-based meditation will have all these problems. Oh, I realized already, this is what the book said, this is what the Buddha said. All these are thoughts verbalization. Sister Billian asked, is this the reason why when you go for certain retreats, they don't allow you to read books? Pratyo answered, yes, there is some truth in that statement, i.e. when you meditate, don't read anything. But it does not apply to everybody, because some people who had cultivated in the past, if they read, the moment they read truth, they can awaken straight away to it. So it doesn't mean that you cannot read. You can read, but don't attach or carry that information or knowledge in your brain. When you meditate, have an open mind. That's what choiceless awareness is all about. Don't, in the meditation, verbalize, oh, I remember what the textbook said, what the Buddha said. Then you are finished or become heedless already. Understand or not, actually it is not the Buddha or the textbook, it is your thought that said, and you cannot see at all, and you somehow say, you got sati, and you still think you are such a great meditator by saying that, I've been meditating for 20, 30 or 40 years already, so don't come and tell me all this. But actually, they cannot see their own thought. They keep on quoting the books or the text via their thoughts, which is accumulated knowledge and not wisdom. And because they cannot see their own thoughts, they become deluded. 5.3.17, voluntary, involuntary, and spontaneous actions. Mr. Chai asked, breathing or heartbeat, we don't have to think about it because it will go on by itself. But when we come to the unconsciously, subconsciously, or voluntary or involuntary actions, how do you develop the understanding? Pratyo answered, you asked about voluntary and involuntary actions, right? So you have to ask yourself, what is action? Action is the form and mind or human being, doing something through the thought, correct or not? Then voluntary action means there is a will involved, as against spontaneous action, when you don't think. Within the field of thoughts and awareness, there are 3 types of action, voluntary, involuntary, and spontaneous. But for your case, you only have 2 because you are only within the field of thoughts. You studied biology before. Voluntary action is when you have a will to define what you want or intend to do. Like if I want to come out of my sitting, then voluntarily I come out of my sitting. But for the biological experience, it is different. You put your legs crossed up, then the biological teacher use a rubber hammer to knock your knee. Automatic and involuntary, it reacts. Then one is involuntary action. That one has nothing to do with thoughts, intention, but from your physical. Through nerve responses, it just moves. That's involuntary action. Whereas voluntary action is through your will. The third one is via wisdom. Spontaneous action, no will is involved, no desire, no craving, no pre-planning, no checking with memories to inquire whether to do or don't do. Like that better or like that better. If you act like that, it means you don't have wisdom. If you have wisdom, you don't have to think or consider, but instead you just act spontaneously, because according to JK, acting according to memory is not acting at all. You only consider and think initially, just like when the Buddha taught the Kalama Sutta. To the Kalamas, he said, whatever they teach you to do, you have to check. If I do, does it harm myself or harm others? That one you use thought to develop the understanding initially. Then you decide to do or not to do. Then if it is the truth, if it doesn't hurt you and hurt or harm others, then you do. When you cultivate until you awaken already, you will do things spontaneously via wisdom. You don't think anymore because the thought is always selfish and egoic. Via wisdom, you just act spontaneously. That's why that day in the Thursday class, someone told me she can do things spontaneously already. It was Sister Ingbi. While in the office, there was a colleague who earlier on had a misunderstanding with her. This colleague thought she was the one who did his year-end appraisal. He was not happy because he didn't get a good appraiser, but later on he came to know that his appraisal was not done by Sister Ingbi. Then a few days later, after the Cameron retreat, she brought some strawberries to her office and placed it on the table near the storeroom. Then this colleague of hers walked by and spontaneously she talked to him. She said, "There are some strawberries that I brought from Cameron Highlands, and you can have it. It is quite nice." Surprisingly, he was very friendly, and at that time, Ingbi didn't feel anything. But later on, when she was on her own, then with her awareness, she came to realize that it was the awareness that enabled her to act spontaneously. If she had thought about it, she would not have approached this colleague because there was already the memory that said, "This colleague doesn't like me, so it may arise some misunderstanding if I approach him." But when she recalled and reflected upon this incident, she just smiled because suddenly this colleague was not like before anymore, so friendly already. He already could respond with such pleasantness and is now so different. So this is difference between spontaneous action that happens naturally and the one with the planned approach via thought consideration, which is not natural at all. 5.3.18, check and question the thought. People can see it because that planning is the thought, and thought is always selfish and egoic before you become enlightened. That's why before you become enlightened, try not to use so much thought. When you have straightened your view already, then you can use thought. Otherwise, thought is very dangerous. That's what Brian Katie asked you to check and question the thought. Is it true? Are you sure it is absolutely true? You say it is the truth, then with a third question, you will start to understand how thoughts delude you. The third question is, what happened when you think that thought? Or I became miserable. Then her fourth question, without those thoughts, how will you be? Or before those thoughts, I was normal, happy and beautiful. Then you will come to realize that all these thoughts that make you unhappy, miserable, fearful, selfish, with the evil roots are wrong thoughts deceiving you. That's why the Buddha states it clearly in the Noble Eightfold Path that you must have the right thought born of right views or right understanding. How to arise right thoughts? The user of thoughts is very important, isn't it? If the user is deluded, how can it be right thought? If the user of thought is deluded, thought will be evil. That's why you must put in the right effort to cultivate virtue, goodness, kindness, etc., to arise the right thoughts that are still not in you after you had straightened your views.
Stop for this is what I mean. Have appreciative mind. These are right thought. Then have virtuous thought, good thought. So right effort to cultivate virtuous thought, goodness, kindness, contentment, appreciative mind state, and you can appreciate life, you can appreciate what others have sacrificed and done for you. You become beautiful. Yeah? So this is how you arise the right thought, through understanding. Then you apply it, then you see the result. Just like Ingbi in the office, suddenly the spontaneous, he just stopped. Then on reflection, he realized, normally with that memory that this person don't like me, you can feel you know. Then you will not approach them spontaneously. you will try to avoid or do something about it. But when she did that, the response became different. No? It's for her to understand. Then this thing surface. It's just like when you cultivate and develop the refinement of right thought, you see that it works so well. No? Oh, the response is like very good. Now I go to the bank also same now. I will greet the bank staff. Then they will normally greet me also. They know me. Oh, Mr. Teo is here. Then I say, can you help? I need you to help me on this. Oh, no problem, Mr. Teo. Come. So very friendly, If you want to boss around, I go, hey, I am in a hurry, Can you do this for me? You think the response will be the same? It's definitely different, unless you are a VIP guest, they get the boss come after you, them lah. Otherwise, he said, tunggu lah. Got number, got queue, that's all. Then sometimes they tell you, hey, they are there first now. Then sometimes they purposely ignore that person now. That person walked to the counter now. He said, tunggu. Then he looked for the other person that the counter service one, he saw them coming in. He said, mana, he will say the name now. Then they ask around, then that person appear. That's why the way you communicate your right speech, if it's not there, it can actually cause a lot of this type of negativity of response. Especially if you need people to help you. That's why Noble Eightfold Path is a very powerful, what they call, path to be cultivated. Because the enlightened being has the embodiment of it. And you want to be enlightened because you cultivate to liberate the mind. And yet you don't want to cultivate Noble Eightfold Path. Then how? Like I told Sui, in the sharing, I always put in the text, whatever meditation you do, finally if you don't end up cultivating Noble Eightfold Path, you are not the enlightened being that the Buddha talked about. You don't have right duty, good conduct, or right conduct, upright conduct, and wise conduct. You are not the Arya, enlightened disciple of the Buddha. Understand or not? Look at all these, understand them, then commit to your whatever memory initially and determine these are the quality of an enlightened being. I must cultivate. And where can I cultivate? In the Noble Eightfold Path, understand or not? Of upright conduct, of good conduct, all in the Noble Eightfold Path. Because Noble Eightfold Path is incapable of evil, understand or not? Of wise conduct, of course you need the pure awareness nature to insight in the phenomena and awaken. Then do your duty, understand or not? These are very powerful understanding. Doing your duty is having right livelihood, right thought, right speech, right action, following right view. And all this is part and parcel of the very, very amazing and wise teaching of Lord Buddha. Okay? Can follow? Okay, continue.
To have right views, you must understand the 5 universal orders of laws that govern all of life and existence, especially the law of karma, karma niyama, and the law of the mind, chitta niyama. Otherwise, without the straightening of your view via the right views, your thought will always be wrong thought.
So straightening of views is very important. When you see it, you understand, you correct yourself, you straighten your view. Otherwise, you remain the old way, habitual, deluded, very stubborn character, don't have sensitivity. This is the heedless mind, the one that have the embodiment of the Noble Eightfold Path, got right view to accept the reality, that know how to communicate and approach, right thought leading to right speech, right action, and right livelihood. All this is in the teaching, but you must cultivate it and make it a living reality, understand or not? Otherwise, it becomes knowledge. And how to cultivate? Develop sati, mindfulness, pure awareness. Okay? The heedful never die. Always remember that. Okay, continue.
5.3.19 Habitual tendencies and memories. Brother Chai asks, How about habits or habitual tendencies that condition our actions? Ratio answered, you don't follow habitual tendencies. Habit is what? Memory. Do you understand? Because you accumulate experiences. Experiences that you like form your habit. Experiences that you don't like also become habit. That's why you have likes and dislikes. Immediately after you see something, you react so fast. Immediately after you hear something, you reacted already. Smell, taste, tactile, and thought, you also do the same. Why did you react? Because you have become so heedless, and heedlessness develops habitual tendency. And what are habitual tendencies? No need to think also you will react that way because that is your habitual tendencies. And it comes from your conditioning via your wrong views. Especially so your self-delusion, which will condition you to arise the three evil roots of great hatred and delusion, to react to sense experiences, thereby making you heedless. This heedless mind will condition you to have very strong habitual tendencies to discriminate, react, and do things following your wrong view. That's why when you hear something from your wife, especially for married couple, straight away you will react. You may say, all I want you to say already, that's enough.
I know what you want to say already.
I know what you want to say already, that's enough. You may also do it to your son or your children because it has become so habitual. Every time you scold them using the same words, told you not to do, you still want to do. Then one day your children may react back and say, mommy and daddy, that's enough. I know what you want to say. Then what happened? You will become very sore, isn't it? All this can arise because you are not conscious and aware or heedful at that time. The habitual tendencies took over through what? Through your anger, your selfishness, your unhappiness, etc., which are your evil roots born of wrong thoughts that condition your habitual tendencies. Because you already given it some thought and you accumulated all these unhappy thoughts via memories. Then they become what? Your anusaya or latent tendencies, no condition, they don't come out. Got condition like machine gun. They just pop up. No need to think at all because you already memorized and pre-planned as to what you want to do the next when the same situation arises. Then you will retort, you think you are very good. You also like that before. Why? Because of the so-called latent tendencies waiting to erupt when there is condition for it to arise. So human beings, due to their heedlessness, do a lot of these foolish things.
True or not? Because this is human nature, understand? Okay, continue.
3.2.20, wisdom, understanding fully and completely. Now we continue with JK's quote. In this awareness, the problem unfolds or unrolls itself, and thus it is fully and completely understood, which means no more fragmented, no more only this fragment, that fragment, and instead you act with complete understanding as opposed to thought, which is limited and fragmented because they cannot see the totality, the overall. That's why thought-based meditation cannot develop wisdom and understanding. Thought can become cunning, smart or intelligent. Thought can be very intellectual, but it cannot develop wisdom. Thought can only develop knowledge which is rigid. JK said, a problem is never solved on its own level, being complex. It must be understood in its total process. So just like what I told you all just now, you cannot have a fragmented solution to spiritual understanding. Spiritual understanding needs the total understanding of the whole of the thought and its content and their limitation. Also, how thoughts divide via words and concepts to deceive you into conflict, argument, wars, and attachment, etc., to arise the fear and suffering in you, and how thoughts project to arise the illusionary time of past and future, which are never the reality, to deceive you, make you heedless. It cannot be at the fragmented level when thought analyzes things, or the way thought looks at things, because thought being limited and egoic only looks at things from the logic side, from knowledge and the intellectual aspect, That's why I used to share with you all this quote. Whatever that is logical may not necessarily be the truth, and it is usually always the opposite.
Okay, I think we need to stop. Because the time is already up. 9:15. Okay, we mark this page. I think another 1 or 2 page. This appendix 3 finish. Which is very good. Okay, we mark this page. Okay. Anybody got any request to do any chanting or not? Huh? Oh. Yeah. Can. Okay. Come forward. Who else? Yeah. Come together. Yeah. Okay, ready? 你需要麦吗？不要啊 ？OK。哦，还没有看到。Okay, again. Okay, ready?
揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃。揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃。揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃。观自在菩萨，行深般若波罗蜜多时，照见五蕴皆空，度一切苦厄。舍利子，色不异空，空不异色，色即是空，空即是色。受想行识亦复如是，舍利子，是诸法空相，不生不灭，不垢不净，不增不减。是故空中无色无受想行识，无眼耳鼻舌身意，无色声香味诸法，无眼界乃至无意识界，无明亦无明尽，乃至无老死亦无老死尽。无苦集灭道，无智亦无得亦无所得故，菩提萨埵般若蜜多故，心无挂碍，无挂 见到梦想究竟，涅槃三世诸佛以般若蜜多故的阿耨多罗三藐三菩提故知般若蜜多时大神咒、十大明咒、15上咒、15等咒，能除一切苦，真实不虚。故说般若蜜多咒，即说咒曰：揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃。揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃。揭谛波罗揭谛波罗僧，揭谛菩提萨婆诃。Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Huh? Oh, Mommy wants to. How many? 准提咒啊 tomorrow. Oh, okay. 明天啊。Okay. Anybody else? Oh, Amy, you want to try the Om Mani Padme Hūṃ? You're very good at that. Huh? 来了，你lead 了。Amy's voice is very good. 慢点 pass the mic. Oh.
Nam mô Chư Khử Chư Nan Quảng Đa Linh Cảm Quan Sư Yên菩萨。Nam mô Chư Khử Chư Nan Nam mô Đại慈大悲救苦救难广大灵感观世音菩萨。南无大慈大悲救苦救难广大灵感观世音菩萨。Maṇi Padme Hūṃ Maṇi 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 Padme Hūṃ
Okay, we rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, thank you. Then we do the sharing of merits. Let us recall to mind all the wholesomeness and virtue that we have cultivated for today's retreat session, with all the good sharing and the Dhamma proclamation. Let us dedicate these merits to all beings, starting with the Devas. Akasata cha Bhumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Chirang Kantu Loka Sasana Etta Vata Cham Ehi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya Idang Menyatinang Hotu Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo Idang Menyatinang Hotu Ta Hontu Nyatayo Idang Menyatinang Hotu Ita Hontu Nyatayo Deo Asatu Kalena Sasa Sampati Heto Cha Fito Loko Tu Loko Cha Raja Bhavatu Dhammiko Imina Punyang Kamena Mame Bala Samagamo Sattang Samagamo Hotu Yawa Nivana Patiya Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha,观音Bodhisattva, and all the great beings and worthy ones.
Yeah, all before we call it a day, let's pay our respect to the Triple Gem and our beloved Brother Teo. Bow. 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 Good night, everyone, and have a good rest.